picks. I kind of spammed people in IRC who are actually at the event, who should probably be, you know, telling me these things. And I asked them to, next time, try telling me these things. So that would be a nice thing to do. We do have the Observer client. If you're just joining us here, obviously we did have it for the DreamHack European qualifiers as well. So that is all good, and everything seems to be fine today. There are still some questions about why Wicked is not playing. More, not really questions, but like Flames. Oh my god, it's kind of stupid, that rule. Well, EPS is not just a German tournament. It happens in different countries all over the world. But the point is, it's a national tournament. And this is, of course, EPS Germany. So hence the rule that you have to have a majority German team as the clairvoyance goes down there. And SK were spotted. And it looks like we could see some early action going on, actually. Competo are starting to move in to that Southern River area. But SK, I don't think they want to go for this. I don't think they're going to have any of it. And it looks like they are just going to back away as Vayne is starting to head down towards the bottom. They're pinging actually all over the place at the moment. And yeah, a quick rundown of the teams once again. Not of the champions, because you guys already saw them on the loading screens, but of the actual teams, because I guess we didn't really catch them all coming onto the stage. For Competo, we have Forellen, Sedio, Fish, Lycades, and Unzo. And for SK is, of course, N-Rated, Ocelot, Severus, Althor, and Sleazy Wheezy. And right now we have Fish just watching out there with Anivia, making sure that no one comes over to steal this blue buff. And jungling, obviously, for Competo will be Nocturne, and Jarvan is the one who seems to be getting the honor over on the SK team, as N-Rater just helps him get started off there with that blue buff. It looks like Ocelot will be playing Rumble in middle against Fish on Anivia. Up top, we have Karthus on, or Althor on Karthus, and we've seen some great performances actually recently from Althor with Karthus. And I just want to make a bit of a point as well. You know, in that interview there before the game, obviously half of it was in English, half of it was in German. But Ocelot made the point that this is a really important tournament for us after we've not had such great results. Actually, we're going to see some early pressure there onto Althor. And it was Unso who came up with Nocturne and knocked him down to around about half HP early on. And we're going to see lots of early harassment, I guess, with Forellen with this Gangplank. And a lot of people in IOC were like, oh my god, Gangplank? Seriously? This is going to fail. But I'll be interested to see what Competo have up their sleeves with this one. They did say that they have some plans, as we see an exhaust going out there down the bottom onto Vayne, and Lycades actually knocked down really low as well. So on this bottom lane we have Vayne and Janna for Competo going up against Corki and Sona for SK, and Sona just having a bit of a peek there, just dropping a ward down in position as Lycades will again take a lot of damage. They're going to focus though into Sedeo, but N-Rated is not exactly the healthiest amongst them. Of course, he does have Sona there to give him the help up at top. Forellen putting out his usual annoyance there onto Karthus. Kassadin, where did that one come from? Ocelot fairly low in middle as well. And I don't know if you heard the German bit as well. Obviously, some of you will be understanding, but I guess most people who understand are just watching the German stream anyway. And Competo did say, we're fairly confident in this one, and you know we've put in plenty of hours to get ready for this game. So they're not expecting to be whitewashed. Even if they were to lose, then it could be a great show. Up top for Ellen, getting a bit of annoyance from Sleazy there, who's just come out of his jungle pattern to put that harassment down. In middle, Fish keeping Ocelot fairly close onto his tower. And Ocelot's actually going to push forward there, just to force Fish away. Down at the bottom here, we have N-Rater starting to work his way in onto Janna. Not quite working out, but they need to be careful now because Nocturne is starting to work his way in. Both players using a flash there, and Nocturne is not going to quite get in there to complete that fear, and that will be a very safe N-Rated. Sorry, did I say Janna? I meant Sony if I did. That was my mistake. But it's been a long day, guys. Obviously, you've been waiting, I guess, 3.5 hours for the League of Legends to start off. and I've been doing the same, except I've been watching FIFA in German as well, so that was cool, and it's like 50 degrees in here. But anyway, enough of the excuses. We are into the game. Let's have a look at some early CS for you. Obviously down up the, in the middle we have Rumble with Ocelot, 26 for him to the 16 of Anivia, so already been out-farmed there a little bit, Competo. In the middle, as we see, Nocturne just came in to annoy Ocelot. Didn't quite work out. Fish is fairly low and will probably get a little bit more pressure on here. Yeah, Ocelot's really going to put that pressure down. And Fish needs to be careful because he's going to have a full minion wave on him here any second. Down at the bottom, Sedio taking lots of pressure from Severus and N-Rated onto this tower, which is down around about half HP here already, as Ocelot is now trying to push away with his Rumble. Nocturne came in just to be more of an annoyance and actually avoids the Ice Blast coming out there from Anivia. So Fish staying permanently fairly low. Down on the bottom, it's a similar thing to what we saw before. And Rated finally being pushed away with Severus now that Competo's Janna has come back into the loop after going home there. And what did she buy? I guess just lots of wards. Yep. And they've warded up that South River quite nicely. I guess not wanting Jarvan to come out there and catch them with their pants down, so to speak. Up at the top, Althor is going to go home. We already saw Gangplank go home, and he's already bought their Philosopher's Stone. And I will just scroll over the items for you guys in case you can't, in case you're watching the free stream. I guess it gives you a little bit more to work with there as the ulti came out onto Fish. Obviously, it was Karthus' ulti, and he still survives with around about 150 health. Let's have a look down at the bottom. Again, pretty similar stuff going on. Let's have a look at the CS of Vayne. 29 for Vayne. Corki is 40. Wow, so, 10 there or so. So at the moment, SK do have that slight advantage with the CS. We may see something interesting from Sleazy now. He is going to take that bush. Pharrellen with his Gangplank is fairly far forward. There are no wards down there. And Sleazy is actually going to get into a position where he could cause a few problems. Doesn't have his ulti up yet, but certainly will be happy to slam the damage down onto Pharrellen anyway and force him to be zoned out of these minions. In middle, Rumble has gone home. Amplifying Tone picked up their ward as well for Ocelot. And Anivia's done pretty much the same. Tear of the Goddess purchased early for Anivia as Sleazy goes home. And Gangplank can rest a little bit easier there. Down on the bottom, Competo have started to push that little bit harder now. Obviously, just the Doran's Blade right from the start on Vayne. And we see N-Rated putting on a lot of pressure there. And was knocked away by Vayne. In middle, Nocturne is just finishing off the Wraiths, or didn't quite finish off the Wraiths. He's going to have to go back and do that. Maybe wasting himself a little bit of time, but I don't think he'll mind that one too much. What did Karthus get on the way back? Sapphire Crystal for Althor. And we see the SK... Obviously, just continuing on their path with Sleazy in the jungle, who gonna go back? No, is not gonna go back. And I'm not sure, to be fair, why Ocelot came there to really help him out. But anyway, never mind. And we do have pings all around the bottom river there, as you can see. That was because of Ocelot. He's just put a ward here for SK. There are already wards around about the middle and also in that lower bush for Competo as well. So they've got a good vision on this southern river. And as I mentioned before, some of you guys who are joining in may be German speakers, and maybe you want to get over onto the German stream, which you can find over at ESL.tv. And of course, over there is Zen on the Touch from Riot and our very own Marza, bringing all the action in German. Looks like we could have something interesting going off at top, as Ocelot is starting to work his way in. We actually see Althor being ulted there by Pharrellen, and we'll see if Ocelot can get anywhere near him. I'm not sure he can. There goes the ulti flashing from Ocelot, and we see first blood after 9.5 minutes there. Ocelot coming up top, and that will be a nice little start for SK. They've put some pressure onto Vayne down at bottom as well here, who has been back, picked up boots, picked up an extra Doran's Blade as well. So far, N-Rated not being back home, actually. And what do we have for Ocelot? Ruby Crystal, which I guess was on his last journey home. Anyway, but as you can see again, down at that bottom area, still N-Rated continuing to harass Vayne. And this tower could take a few more hits before this minion wave is out. Yep, N-Rated will just finish it off, but that will be fairly easy. Again, they ping Ocelot, who... No, that's not a new ward. That was there before. So they know Ocelot's position. And Competo calling miss in chat. That's interesting, actually. I'm not sure whether they have a little bit too much noise on stage. They did say earlier on, wow, it's so loud. But I think that's should be combated with the helicopter headsets, as they are meant for helicopter pilots, whatever. A lot of the players also use the in-ear buds inside of those as well, so that they get that extra blocking and bit better sound quality. There we see Ocelot again putting out some damage onto Fish. There's actually a wall onto him there as he gets himself away. Maybe slightly overextending, especially since Nocturne was hanging around there as well. But they do have that ward just to the right-hand side of the Wraith, so they should always know if Nocturne comes up sneakily from that to that middle position. And here we actually get a Nocturne ulti, and it is into middle on Ocelot. As we see also Sleazy come in there. Nice wall off by Fish. Ulti came out from Ocelot. Surely they're going to be able to chase down Fish. Yes, they will. Will they get the egg, though? That's the big question that they have to answer. And no, they didn't quite get it. But they kill him afterwards anyway, which, is not such a bad thing either. And we see the pressure actually coming in onto N-Rated. Ulti from Janna comes out, and that will force N-Rated away. Obviously giving the heal to Sedio as well. And, well, the kill comes in. Who picked it up there? I guess it was. Yeah, it was Vayne. Obviously, Ocelot with Rumble does have a 2-0 scoreline at this stage. We've seen Gangplank already go up there, already picked up an Avarice Blade for a bit of extra crit. As Althor has just come back in there as well. Built his Catalyst, the Protector. Again, another couple of wards being picked up, no real surprises. And Competo are actually pinging directly on the ward there from SK. I'm not sure if they obviously know it's there or what is the plan. Let's have a look, see if anyone else has been buying up. Yeah, Haunting Guys collected by Ocelot on his last trip home. Tear of the Goddess already was with Anivia, Ruby Crystal, and the usual set of wards. And we've seen a Sheen being built as well from Vayne. Obviously, she went back after that last kill, which came in onto N-Rated. And Philosopher's Stone, Fairy Charm, and a Vision ward, actually, a pink ward for Sona. So maybe he wants to set up for this Dragon as we hit 30 minutes in. N-Rated is taking a lot of damage here, though. Needs to be careful. Will Valkyrie himself out? Did have the heals from Severus, which looked like they came in a little bit late there for me, but still worked out. We've got Althor starting to move down in towards middle. He will be spotted, though, due to these wards. So I'm not sure exactly what his plan is going to be. And actually, he's gone straight out there. We do have a ward at Dragon from Competo already. And Competo are spamming the pings down towards Ocelot's position. And also to where they think Althor had just gone. With his Karthus. And a bit of pressure from Fish. No, not quite what you'd call pressure. We're just trying to scare him out a bit. So let's have a look at the CS as we hit almost the 15-minute mark. In fact, no, let's just wait a second because Sleazy's moving in with Jarvan. They should have spotted him, although that ward ran out just a few seconds ago. Madred's Razors, Null Magic Mantle picked up for Sleazy so far. Up on top, a bit of pressure being put down onto Althor. I'm more concerned here about what Sleazy's plan is going to be. And I think he's decided after all that, nah, not going to be worth it. I'm going to go back into my jungle pattern. Also, pings going off down below there. And probably someone, I guess Anivia might come away and take this blue buff. just to give her that little bit extra against Ocelot in middle. Ocelot's going to start to work his way down. There are wards once again set up there, and we get the kill. Sorry, down bottom. I completely missed that one, as Enrated does manage to pick up that kill. And was it Enrated? Yeah, it was Enrated. Sorry about that, guys. I was totally focused on them pushing up here in towards Nocturne, who is going to go back there from the bush. The question is, are they going to dive in? Yes, it looks like they are. Sleazy is going to move in there. We saw the ulti come out from Nocturne. And Forellen, they're going to go for Forellen as well. And Shuli is going to go down. Ulti was popped there by Sleazy, and they get those kills. So Enrated dropped down below, but it looked like there was something going up at top. That's why I was kind of not even paying attention towards the bottom. So nicely done there by SK. Some quick kills coming out in fast succession. Obviously, the one death there that Vayne has is the one kill that Enrated picked up. And surely they're not going to be able to save this tower. There's a good 5 minions on it. They should be able to finish that one off pretty simply. And there we go. First tower of the game is down. And don't forget, this is a best-of-3 series. So either team has to win 2 matches to become the ESL Pro Series German champions. So it's not a short little game, you guess. It's probably going to be a little bit longer than that. Right now, Vayne having that little extra farm at bottom. So anyway, the CS is what I was trying to get to a little bit earlier on as well. Corki 122 to the 75 of Vayne. That's a big, big difference there. Nicely played by Enrated on Corki, and of course he did have that nice kill. And we've seen some pressure coming out onto Ocelot. Fish has to be careful here because Sleazy's going to start to move in. Ulti came out, and that for me is a little bit reckless, but in come the rest of Competo. Can Ocelot get himself free? He's surely going to go down. Yes, he is. Sleazy will be able to escape, especially since Sona's there to give that heal. Although the wall, okay, not quite what it needed to be. Wasn't quite up to blocking Sleazy off completely, as that was a nice whirlwind put down by Janna, but I like it. He's just to stop him, Althor coming down. But in terms of the top lane, obviously Althor as Karthus, Forellen as Gangplank. We have Gangplank 108 minion kills, and Karthus 108. So it's very, very even up on that top lane. Obviously the scoreline in terms of kills, 2 for 5 in favor of SK. And what do we have on Sleazy now? Heart of Gold. Obviously those Madra Tracers were there a little bit earlier on. They've actually got a Oracle now on Janna, and she just started the usual kind of clearing out the wards wherever possible. Are we going to see something more here with Forellen? Actually, Fisher's coming in there. The wall was not the greatest wall you've ever seen in your life, but Althor could still be in trouble, especially since the ulti comes out from Nocturne, and that will be nicely done. He does use his ulti, but it's pretty much nothing going in there, as SK did go down and take a dragon during all that, but they have to be careful because I think they're going to lose this top tower now. Plenty of minions in there, and this tower should fall very, very quickly. But as you can see, SK is starting to push down onto the middle tower. And like it is, yeah, that path in was very, very risky, knowing the poke that Sleazy's got there. And now it's a similar thing in middle. So, you know, those kills not quite working out there. There has one just gone down in bottom as well. But I was focusing on this middle tower because, you know, they've taken that top tower. Okay, they got the one kill onto Althor, but they're losing this middle tower now. And SK going to take it down and run out of there straight away. Anivia is just above them as the wall comes out onto Sleazy. Flash over from Ocelot. Fish surely is in trouble now. Sleazy will survive. And that is another kill. And the rest of Competo had already taken the recall and gone back home. And they're actually pinging up Enrated, who's down in the south area of the Competo jungle. Is going to be taking away these golems as well. And we maintain that similar kind of score difference 8-3. You see the regrowth pendant coming in from Janna after the last time she went back. Nocturne picked up Wriggle's Lantern and Berserker Greaves, plus the Ruby Crystal and Sapphire Crystal. With Vayne, what do we have? Yeah, Berserker Greaves is the only thing recently to have been picked up. Obviously, she did have those that double Doran's blade. N-Rated continues to get some nice CS down at that bottom area. And they are doing the blue buff now. That will, of course, go to Althor, since Ocelot doesn't even need it anyway. And Gangplank up at top will continue to push in there. So we do have on Gangplank the Youmuu's Ghost Blade. Always good. Obviously, those two players up at the top playing solo were Karthus and Gangplank. We have Sleazy moving in there as well, as I just picked up a Vampiric Scepter and also his Mercury Treads, which it just finished off a little bit earlier. And SK are starting to hang around here, maybe to try and steal this blue buff. They've got wards in there at top. And they're going to try and pull it out here, are they? Clairvoyance actually goes down. And we may see a bit of an altercation here. Sleazy has already started onto that blue buff. But the rest of Competo are actually starting to work their way in. Althor just gets around the wall. Sleazy is actually going to engage in the fight against Fish. Let's go back up to the main fight. Ulti's popped left, right, and center. Surely Unso is going to go down. Yes, he had an ignite on him. This looks like a whitewash of a fight for SK. Lycades goes down. Fish is reduced to an egg, and that will obviously be finished off. And look at that. All 5 players left alive for SK. We have Vayne down at the bottom, who is the only survivor for Competo, and of course doing what she can do best, which is push on those towers. And it's going to be a Baron pickup here for SK Gaming. And we heard from Ocelot, he said, you know, we really desperately want to win this game. We want to show our fans that we are still capable of winning this, winning things, because recently they've not had the best of times of things. Of course, they failed to qualify for DreamHack for the Season 1 finals, which was a big thing for them after they lost to Fnatic in the lower bracket. So that's something they're going to look to rectify here, and the German EPS really has a lot of prestige around it and has done for years and years and years. And that's something definitely the organizations, SK in particular, who have, you know, they've had their own teams for years inside of the German EPS. Their FIFA team, of course, was super successful inside of the German EPS, and it's a big thing for an organization to lure sponsors in there. So really, I guess, a bit of pressure onto the SK LoL team to perform here in this one. And let's have a look. Yeah, Crystal Scepter being bought there for Ocelot. Also got his Mercury Treads a little bit earlier on. There goes a Negatron Cloak as well for Sleazy. Althor has Needlessly Large Rod and also Mercury Treads from earlier on as well. So let's see what the plan is now from SK. Didn't quite see the time on Dragon. Let's see if they said something. 25. 3 minutes. That sounds like a bit long to me. I'm not sure whether they were actually talking about that Competo. Although Gangplank did, of course, drop the ulti down in there. And you see how many wards SK have here. Just trying to catch Competo out. Maybe if they make a push out, trying to get this red buff. But I think the bottom tower is where they're going to be aiming for generally. And obviously Ocelot got a lot of lane pushing power. And especially now that the rest of his team are there, they have got a lot of lane pushing power. And I think Competo would do well to maybe just use whatever poke they can afford and try and hold this off. Because SK are obviously with the Baron buff, they are starting to move in closer and closer now. And this base tower might not last all that long. We see their N-Rater just poking, his shots doing like quarter damage almost to Fish, and they are starting to move in there. There goes the initiation. Fish is surely going down. Yes, you'll see the ulti moving in there. Fish is still alive. His wall will keep him up for a little while, but Ocelot finished off Janna, and Anivia fell there as well at the top. And again, it's pretty much awesome from SK. Only Gangplank was left alive throughout that one, but let's be honest, what is Gangplank going to do against a team of 5 at this stage of the game, especially since they have Baron buff? They'll probably just wait for the next wave of minions to come in And no, that surprised me a little bit that they won't push through. Obviously, the respawn timers aren't so high. Only 24 minutes gone so far here in game number 1. But SK, of course, are going to be mopping up towers left, right, and center. Even putting out pressure onto Forellen, who does manage to survive. N-rated just misses his last charge there. And that will be the middle inner turret down. And red buff is available as well. So SK pretty much just going to clear up everything that Competo have possibly to work with now. And let's have a look at the duration left on the Baron buff. I can't actually see it because I'm on the Competo side, which is annoying. But I'm sure if you look on the German stream, which I actually have here, on my other screen. So it's got about a quarter left, that Baron buff. There goes another dragon kill. Let's have a look at the items. Bloodthirst already on Corki. Got himself Fade, Sheen, so you can guess what's coming up next there. Ocelot, is he going to portal home? Nah, he's just chilling by the dragon for a bit. Okay, so he is going to finally go home. N-rated does now have his Trinity Force, which is what I was hinting at earlier. They're even starting to pick up the elixirs at this stage. There's Force of Nature on Jarvan. The Shirelia's Reverie on Sona, and Needlessly Large Rod. I think I said that was already there before, if I'm not mistaken, on Rumble. And N-rated just going to get himself a red buff. Not sure on the timing of Baron, because I didn't see exactly on the clock when they picked that one up. But you can probably much guarantee that they're going to be ready for it. I mean, the score 16-3, and SK looking very, very dominant here in game number 1. And they're already looking into the top side of the jungle, maybe seeing if that blue buff's ready. And also these wards will protect them for the next time that Baron will be coming up. And they're just running around at the moment and just knocking these turrets down left, right, and center. The second one will fall as well, the inner turret. Not sure that Competo again will try and hang around. There are only 3 there, so it'd be kind of suicide to go in with just 3. Yeah, ulti actually came out there from Gangplank for what good it's actually going to do. At least maybe slow them down, taking down some of the creep wave with them. And Gangplank has moved himself up now. Let's have a look at his items. BF Sword, obviously the Yumu's Ghost Blade, Vampiric Scepter, and we are going to see the again the push in from Sleazy there. A great play with Jarvan so far. Unzo is going to go. No, he's not going to go down. He's somehow survived that. There's the ulti from Jarvan. 2 trapped inside. Can they catch more before they get to the fountain? No, not quite. But Ocelot wants to fight there anyway, just because he can. And that will mean that they should be able to take a couple more towers. Are they just going to go straight for the Nexus towers? It looks like possibly will. I mean, while they're here, they've got minions on the middle inner turret. Middle base turret, so that one can go down. Inhibitor will follow quickly afterwards as well. Competo just using all the poke that they possibly have, which, to be fair, is not all that much and not all that strong, definitely. And SK are going to back themselves away once again. The blue buff is up. Obviously, they did have it warded, so that's something extra to add to the arsenal. And let's have a look overall at the CS. 229. I mean, at this stage of the game, doesn't really matter all that much, considering the scoreline. I mean, 18-3. We've got Rumble 717, Corki 415, Karthus 417, Jarvan 2012. And just those 3 deaths not really coming out so badly. The Gangplank that everyone was seemingly talking about, currently 0-4-2. That is Forellen. So maybe we'll see some changes. I definitely think we'll see some of these, probably Jarvan being banned, let's be honest. He's been absolutely formidable so far. N-rated had a great game on Corki. And it's just been a very solid performance from SK all around. They do have Sona there with the Oracle. They're going to clear out that 1 Baron ward. And I think they're just going to go straight in there. They know by these wards around here, that basically Competo are not going to come anywhere near this, at least for the foreseeable future. And actually, Sedio, who's playing Vayne, already said good games. I'm not sure exactly how long ago that was, to be honest. can't have been that long ago because it said the inhibitor will respawn soon, and it just did respawn. So I guess maybe on that last push, more wards going in, and as you can see, SK heading for this southernmost, the bottom inhibitor. And again, Competo not able to do all that much about it. The main damage dealer side of the back. You see the likes of N-Rated, of Althor just being basically annoying, stopping them coming anywhere near that. Obviously, the super minions already well in range, and I think we might see SK, take this top turret now. They will tank it there. I mean, with all 5 of them around, it's not going to be any problem whatsoever for Sleazy to tank that top turret. But here we see it once again, the engage coming around. Sleazy has to be careful. He's not all that healthy. Well, there goes the ulti from Sona, and we're going to see Lycides go down as well. Fish is trying to run away with a Nivea. Ulti comes out from Jarvan, and the egg, of course, will fall very quickly afterwards as well. And again, it's 5 men down. This time for Competo. SK just going to run straight through these 2 turrets, and of course the Nexus will be finished off as well. So 1-0, SK Gaming are going to take the lead here in the EPS Germany Grand Final for the summer season of 2011. They need to win just 1 more of the possible next 2 games. Of course, there may only be 1 game. And what was the time on that? I think it finished just after 30 minutes or so. So that is, 1-0. And I'm going to show you the after score screen, the after game screen, the post match screen. And why am I at the top? I joined last. This makes no sense. So yeah, anyway. I've got some messages, I guess, on IRC. And I also don't want to forget to show you the team's reactions, which should be coming up here in a second. The other stream is just a little bit behind. So we are going to be seeing SK's reaction. There you go. There's SK after that one all kicked off. But yeah, just looking down the post-match screen here. N-rated, his CS 235. No one anywhere near him on that Competo side. On that bottom lane, he was well ahead in the farm as well. Top lane, in all fairness to Pharrellin, who of course was playing Gangplank, kept it very, very even in that early game, but the early game is not always what wins you the game, of course, and he finished 0-5-2, as did Fish, who played a Nivea as well. And there we have Marza and Xenon. So I guess they're going to go to a commercial break. So